Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. LEGO has a history with the Fast and Furious franchise, not a particularly long one, but we've had 3 different sets so far. The first was a Technic release, Dom's Dodge Charger from 2020. This is my motorized version, but it almost looked like this. Then we got 2 Speed Champion sets, again the Charger and the Nissan Skyline GTR. Then in 2025 LEGO released another Technic set, the 42204 Toyota Supra MK4. Since it is a Technic set and this is the other car from the epic final scene of the movie, we thought we would finally get a set to go with this one, right? Well, we were wrong. As it turns out, this set is much closer in size to this one, the recently reviewed Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Since I didn't understand this decision, I thought to do a double review. I checked Rebrickable and found a promising custom build that matches the Technic Charger in size, Brian's Toyota Supra MK4 by Artemy Zotov. Here's the designer's Rebrickable page, and as you can see, there's a whole bunch of custom builds from the Fast and Furious movies, but you can also build these cars in other colors, and there are quite a few other stuff too. I was surprised to see that new versions of the Supra were uploaded just a few days ago. When I started collecting the parts, there was only an RC version from 2022. I built that one, but now you can choose between 2 variants of an improved version, manual or remote controlled. The body was also upgraded, apparently more Technic parts were used than before. I have linked all the different variants in the description. In this video I will build both cars and then compare them. Let's start with the official one. Here is the box with the car in action on the front. On the back we have a different view and some details with the functions. Let's open it. The set has 810 pieces, the price is €60 or dollars, and it is already available at LEGO. We get 5 numbered bags, and a numbered one with a few more pieces, the instructions and the sticker sheet. The only interesting extra in the manual is this photo from the movie, so let's start building. The process begins with the differential, and for some reason we had studded plates on top. After the rear axle we had this section with components for the steering, which is the end of bag 1. Here's the crankshaft, and as far as I can tell, this is actually a pretty good approximation of the 2JZ engine setup in LEGO form, but you are going to confirm or deny it anyway. The steering has a few surprises. You don't see these parts used as limiters at the bottom in every set, but the asymmetrical steering rack like this is even more unusual. More components for the steering system. The cross-axle needs to be held somehow so you can see how it works. We added pistons to the engine, then it's time to join the 2 main assemblies, and now we can see how the hand of God steering will work and how the engine is driven by the rear differential. A few more pieces added, end of phase 2. Here is the structure that supports the hand of God steering knob. In the back I added a few more pieces, and then comes this new part, which is quite interesting. It goes here. Are you folks happy to see it? Here's the first printed element, the mudguard, and the first stickers are already in place. Matching colors? Well, almost. A little installation trick, we push the assembly in here and then turn it into its final position. Now here's a strange thing. As you can see, so far I've used 3 of these blue 2 module long beams with a pin and a cross-axle hole. According to the inventory, the set should actually have 5 of them, but the rest of the parts here are different. I get 2 with 2 pinholes instead. This should not be in the set at all, so this is a packaging error. I don't have any blue ones, but I don't think you can see them anyway, so I will use these black parts instead. It's time to fit the front fenders, they are secured in place properly. We add the seals, end of phase 3. These assemblies go in the corners and this one here in the center to support some studded stuff. And here it is, a pretty big pile of non-Technic elements, literally fully stickered. It was no fun putting them on these L-shaped pieces, believe me. Oh, by the way, the new 5 white panel also comes in orange, as you can see below, and here we have our brick-built headlights with 3 transparent small panel fairings on each side. I mean, respect for not using stickers for the headlights, but we have to admit that the shape and size is not exactly the same as the original. The seats are in place, and here is the steering wheel. Now you can see why the steering axle was placed on the other side. Maybe there could have been an opportunity to have an actually rotating steering wheel as well, although space is tight. Another studded assembly for the rear over the differential. It's nice to have some detail, although to be fair the color of the bottles shouldn't be orange and we missed the 3 special amps. We have a stickered license plate and then this assembly with the tail lights. The combination of Technic and system parts works pretty well here. The last bag begins with this bigger assembly, then another unexpected recolor. This piece is new in light bluish grey. It is part of the rear wing assembly by the way. we are installing the hood. At first I thought I did something wrong, but no, those gaps are there unfortunately. Here's the door. The good thing about it is that it has two attachment points, so it's less wobbly than the one in the Corvette. Here comes the roof, and then the dashboard with the windshield. Yes, that still needs to be adjusted. Much better. Finally the wheels are added and we are done. Before we look at the details of this set, let's quickly build the other Supra. Here is the chassis with the 3 integrated motors. The steering motor is in the center, the shaft goes to the steering rack on this end. The 2 other motor outputs are coupled and geared up here and drive the rear differential. The setup is simple and clean with nice cable management. The body is built as a separate assembly, which is pretty cool. You can see the structure here. The build itself is also modular. We build larger sections together and then insert them, such as the rear of the car with a nice mix of Technic and system elements. Then comes the rear wing. You can see the cool support geometry. The front fenders are in place, and here is one of the doors, which again contains some system parts. It will have a spring-loaded opening mechanism. I had to add a few more parts, but now it works perfectly. The front is again a pretty big chunk, which I quickly fixed with a few parts. I added the dashboard and steering wheel, and you can see this very clever integrated support structure on the sides with a fixed angle holding the brick-built windshield. I'm impressed. The final piece is the completely brick-built hood, which is attached with clips and fits here. I've added the wheels and can now put the body on the chassis. It still needs to be secured with a few pins at the rear and also under the hood, and we are done. So this is our finished build, but still without stickers. You can download the sticker pack when you purchase the instructions, either with or without background, and these were printed for me by the great folks at Forward Sticker. Applying the transparent stickers is not a piece of cake, and unfortunately many of them are spread over multiple pieces, which I don't like so much, but the end result is quite decent. Here are the 2 cars side by side, and when we add the charger as well, it becomes clear why I didn't understand the decision to make the official set in a smaller scale. It would have been great to display the 2 cars together, but this scale also allows for a lot more brick build details. I think the mixed use of Technic and system parts works pretty well on this build. I like the front, the lights with the clear minifigure head, the black inserts on the hood, it looks great. I know the hood is flat, but it doesn't seem too distracting and it can be open too. The spring-loaded doors work well, although you have to be careful with the top section because it could come off if you grab that. The interior is pretty basic, we have nice seats and I like the sturdy solution for supporting the windshield. The yellow roll cage is there too, and there are some really fine brick-built details like this little window. The rear also looks pretty good. This area is of course dominated by the Technic hub, but the manual version has some additional details. But it is required because, as you saw during the build, this car is remote controlled. We can also check it right away because the body is fairly easily removed in one piece. You don't necessarily have to take it off to change the batteries, but it's still a cool option. So let's try it out. It's not super fast of course, but it's fast enough for indoor play. And what does the official set offer in comparison? Well, we have hand-of-God steering, which is easy to operate, and the knob is removable. The hood opens to reveal the straight-six engine, which is driven by the rear wheels via the differential. The doors can be opened and have a better support than on the Corvette. The roof can be removed and the trunk can also be opened. As far as looks are concerned, I have the same problems with the set as with the Corvette. There are certainly some clever solutions. I like the mix of system and Technic parts on the front, but there are also some serious limitations, mainly due to the size of the model. Here are these huge gaps around the hood that look pretty bad. The attempt to recreate the headlights is respectable, but these assemblies are huge compared to the real thing. When the roof is in place, the A-pillars are more or less supported, but without the roof, it's quite a challenge to keep the windshield in the right position. Again, if this was an unbranded car, the designers might have had to make fewer compromises. You can buy this set for €60 or dollars from Lego, but some European retailers have it for as little as €45 already. It is definitely a bigger challenge to collect all the parts for the custom build. To have a fair comparison, I exported the parts list of the manual version to Bricklink and did a few searches at different sellers. I was able to get down to €120 without shipping, which is exactly the price this set had a couple of years ago, so I think that's perfectly acceptable. Shipping costs and the price of the instructions will obviously come on top of that, But if you want to build a decent LEGO Fast and Furious Supra, I would definitely recommend going for this one. I've always been a fan of the LEGO models from the Car Transporter gang, but it might be time to make some generic cars again at this scale. The Fast and Furious Supra should have been released in this scale to match Dom's Charger. So folks, please let me know what you think of these two. Would you buy the official set? Would you collect parts for the custom one? Let's talk about it in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications because more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.